Hi, everyone. It's me, Frenchie, and we got Ricardo on as well.
And this
And
is
welcome to the mixed bag. It's a quick recap of all of the shenanigans that's going on throughout the week. Where do we start? Where do we start? Wait, where
uh,
did we say we were going to start?
so I think we'll start with the least interesting thing to happen this week, which was the Super Bowl. For all the sports fans, don't kill me.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that. I was like, we're clearly not sports fans, but
it
definitely
is a
the least.
super
It's
cultural, important cultural moment.
totally, yeah, but also it was like, in its whole entirety, it was just like, okay, you got Tom Brady coming back,
Yeah.
great. Another Tom. It's like feels like we're living a Groundhog's Day kind of like movie, but regardless, yeah. So Tom Brady again, crazy. Oh, different team, whatever. And then the commercials were pretty. I thought they were pretty lackluster too. I mean, a couple of trailers for like a few movies or a few like shows, but nothing crazy either. So it's just like that alone was kind of boring.
Well, I think that I honestly, I think when it comes to the commercials, I think a lot of brands were potentially hesitant in terms of spending money on the Super Bowl because across the board, brands and companies have had an impact on uh,
Oh yeah.
the revenue, right? So then, are you really going to invest 5 million on a 30-second Super Bowl ad?
Well, you could do what Reddit did. They spent only what I don't know how many million on just a 5 second ad. It was literally just a post. I think it was. Did you check it out? Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
It was literally just a post, like with text that was just on it for 5 seconds. It's just like I forgot what it said. It was like, "Oh, I can't believe this worked," and it's literally just a 5 second Super Bowl ad.
That's
But hey,
interesting.
I thought it was a conversation piece. It's like I wouldn't be able to read that all at once, but I'm gonna stop and say, "What the hell did I just see?" Google it. Look at that. Now you got an entire array of earned media that you're garnering out of a 5 second ad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought
Here,
that was creative.
yeah, I'll just put this. Let's just put this up. So it said, while this actually worked. If you're reading this, it means our bet paid off.
I think somewhere along the line they kind of like hint at the whole GameStop thing. They're just like I think they touch on it somewhere. Like I'm trying to pull it up myself.
So it says, right. So game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one.
There you go. Oh God.
So that's I think it's actually quite clever. It's 5 seconds, and it definitely, like you said, generates all this earned media, and
And
and it's very fresh on people's minds when it comes to the stuff that happened with GameStop.
oh yeah. I mean it's there's two sides to the story. It's interesting because Reddit's really capitalizing on such a perfect moment for Reddit. You got the whole GameStop thing, what is the Wall Street bets, everything going on like Reddit. But then you got another side of it. Not on Reddit side, but this was actually Robinhood's first year to have a Super Bowl commercial. And boy, was it like just completely the wrong time to have a Super Bowl ad. It was nothing impressive. It was nothing even like crazier worth showing. But it felt so out of place considering everything that has just recently happened. It was like if I could pull the strings to just cancel that GameStop that Robin Hood ad, I would have done it.
Robinhood.
Oh, hot mess, hot mess. But yeah, boring. Saw the Winter Soldier commercial. I think that was pretty interesting. And then he had this Super Bowl performance, and let me tell you, it wasn't no J Lo, no Shakira, no none of that.
But I do have to say, okay, so the weekend he sort of has been building it up the past for any artist, right? So it's a big opportunity to get exposure to like millions and millions of people, right?
Yeah,
And his album just got released, and he did this whole entire stunt when it came with that music video, right? I don't know if you saw it, where he
the plastic
is
surgery.
yes. So then he
Oh
was,
yeah,
and then he had that sort of rift with the Grammys, right?
The riff
It
with
was
the Grammys.
yeah. So I don't think he was nominated for something, and he kind of got upset. But I think it was also connected to what was coming up with the Super Bowl. So he's building up to it, and I think it kind of felt he apparently spent $7 million on the production
Out of his own money?
out of his own money,
Is
and
that how that works?
not necessarily, but I guess as an artist, if you want to have, because I remember way back 2010 when Lady Gaga, she was spending $1 million each concert that she did on her the Monster Ball.
Mm.
So it's not unheard of, but I think yeah, he wanted to make a big splash, but I'm not sure it was that um sort of eye catching in a sense. Obviously, all his songs are like huge hits, but the performance itself, which I would just say was okay.
That's the thing. Like maybe, and it's me. I'm not a sports person. I'm if I'm watching the Super Bowl, I'm watching it for just the halftime shows. You with acts like Beyonce, Shakira, J Lo, hell, even Lady Gaga. Like you kind of the bar is kind of high for it to be just a massive like performance, just like a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? But for him, and granted, admittedly, I didn't see the whole thing. I've only seen clips. It just seemed like it was pretty, like, not as exciting. It's like, yeah, he's great with music, but it's just like he doesn't
But
have like the movement. He's not
let
like
me.
a Michael Jackson kind of like dancer or anything that really gets people
Well, I
going.
think he's sort
Even
of his
Bruno Mars is
style.
pretty good,
I think his style is like he's in a way like Thriller Michael Jackson era.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the dance moves and all
But I
that.
do have to say, I thought this was better than Justin Timberlake's performance.
Oh God, no. So you know what's interesting? I actually didn't know Justin Timberlake was going to be on it. First off, I only knew that The Weeknd was going to be on it, but it could have not come at a worse timing because I actually have a kind of a distaste for Justin Timberlake because I saw the. Did you see the? It's like I think it's on Hulu. It's the Free Britney, like New York Times documentary or the Britney Spears documentary.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's like a quick like hour-long retrospective, just like her come to fame, and then just like all of the stuff that she went through, which you know in retrospect, I mean, not to say like I was involved or anything, but like just in retrospect of like how we treat people today versus how we treated celebrities like Britney. It is crazy that like these paparazzis are just out of hand. Like I almost kind of understand. I would have shaved my head too. Shit, I did shave my head, but that was during the pandemic. But
That was like a month ago.
but like I kind of get it. But the reason I bring that up is apparently like Justin Timberlake, he was dating Britney Spears at the time and they had broken up, and he kind of had this whole like narrative in place, and part of it is slightly sexist, like at least I feel like it is. It's just like he's the one that she was the one that kind of portrayed as like sort of the whore, like she did something wrong, but like it was just because like the media was kind of portraying her that way, but there was like no evidence to back it up. And Justin Timberlake was kind of doubling down on the I was innocent, she was wrong, she broke my heart, like all this shit. And then even like there was like a Howard Stern or some sort of radio show where he was just like talking about like like sex with her and everything, just like super inappropriate shit. And I'm just like, wow, this dude is like straight up a dog. Like he's a pig. He's a pig. And I'm like that now. I've kind of like shifted my perception of him. I don't know. I don't know how long that'll last, but my perception of him is kind of altered.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly he said, but it probably is from what you're saying. It just sounds like he wants to play. He's trying to play the victim. It's like, come on, that was 20 years ago. Can you understand who you were in that moment? Understand who she was in that moment, and understand how you were being treated by the media and everyone and the pressure. Like, come on.
No, yeah. Well, that was like all of these interviews and everything. This was during the time, so it was like shortly after they had broken up back in like the early 2000s. But regardless, it's just like such a like pig thing to say. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. So what he? Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it wasn't him recently talking
No,
about it.
no,
It
no,
was.
no, 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 no. Oh God, I don't even think that would even be a topic of discussion.
Yeah, it was like, well, that's a bit weird for him to be talking like that about
No, 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 no,
20
no.
years ago.
No, it was
It's
like
like, ooh,
early
someone
2000s.
got hurt. Someone still. Wow, she
I forgot the
definitely really
song.
broke your heart. Cry me a
Yeah,
river,
yeah. I think that was the one.
cry
That was
me.
yeah. That was the one. I think that it was about Britney. I I feel like yeah. I don't remember all the
Wasn't
words,
my
but yeah,
voice
I
great?
think it was
Just
that
by the
one.
way, it's so great, right? It's
Oh
really
God,
spot on.
give him a Grammy.
Falsetto, come on. Cry me.
Oh
Which it
God,
sounds like crimey. It sounds like grimy. If you listen to this,
grimy.
grimy, grimy. It does sound like that a bit. Anyway,
But yeah, Super Bowl,
meh.
not as exciting.
We'll see.
I could
Well,
take it or leave it.
yeah, we'll next year.
Yeah, hopefully next year. They gotta double it up. They gotta make it real like crazy. Get Beyonce. Get fucking I don't know who else is big. Get all the big players. Just fuck it. Just big show.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. And moving on. So next thing is the other big news of the week was the COVID relief package.
Yes, give me some money.
Well, here's kind of the drama that's been happening is that so the original COVID relief package in December, and even the package before March of 2020, right? So if you made over $75,000, you wouldn't get the full amount; it would start to taper off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have some conservative Democrats who are saying that the package has to be targeted because people who are making $300,000 are getting this money, and they really wanted to make sure that it's only the people who really need it are getting the money.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Which
Which they're
that
lowering it to like 50 or like 60, right?
yeah, so basically I mean, in a way that you're insinuating that if you make $55,000, you're rich, right? And you don't deserve to get those
Yeah,
$1,400.
maybe in the middle of Wyoming, but try living in a big city with 50. You still got roommates.
And the other thing as well is that you're also sort of oversimplifying the sort of situation that only people who are in the very lower income brackets are the ones that are suffering. It's suffering all across the board. Obviously, the people who are at the very top are fine, but everyone else has had, either they have a reduction in their income or they've had an increased number of medical costs or a whole bunch of other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so there was that fight, and it's still going on, right? And then there's also the as we continue from last week, that fight for the minimum wage, that you had Joe Biden's interview out. I think it was before the Super Bowl. So he was with Nora Roberts, and she asked him about the minimum wage, and he said that it's included in the package, but he's not sure that it'll be able to be a part of the package because the way that the Senate rules are when it comes to reconciliation, which is the process that they're using to pass the bill this time. So basically, what it is that every single sort of initiative within the bill has to have a budgetary impact, and the way what happens is that the Senate parliamentarian, which is the person who knows all the rules and everything when it comes to the Senate, is the one who decides if it actually is complying with the rules. So what happens is that so Bernie Sanders, other people. So Bernie Sanders right now is the budget chairman, right? Yeah, Bernie.
Woo.
So he's saying, well, you know what? We need to make sure that it's in the bill. So he asked the Congressional Budget Office to rescore the way that, because previously they said that raising the minimum wage will have no impact on the federal budget. So he asked them to reconsider the way they calculated it. So they took a look at it, and they came out today that actually it does have an impact on the budget. So we'll actually increase the deficit by $54 billion, and it would cause the economy to lose 1.4 million jobs, but it will raise 1 million people out of poverty.
Jesus.
It's a bit interesting because the way that they calculated, it says it will increase the deficit because less people are working, and then there's something has to it's kind of complex. I was like, what? What does that even mean? But but the key takeaway is that it looks like, based on this, that the $15 minimum wage will be able to survive the test of being reviewed by the parliamentarian.
That's crazy, because I mean, it's not even like, I mean, it's also such a long-term goal. It's not like they're gonna, like, you know, flip a switch, suddenly it's $15 an hour.
Yeah, it's $15 in 2025.
Yeah, like 25, 26 is just like, it's going to be a gradual increase. Although there's the Republican argument that it's just like, well, you know, these small businesses can't afford $15 an hour. Well, it's just like, if you can't afford a living wage, then maybe you shouldn't have a business. I'm sorry.
Also, maybe then, if you know, they love helping businesses, so why don't you set up something so you can help them, a tax credit for them to make up
100%.
Yeah.
Take some of the tax credits from like the ultra rich Amazons of the world and just give it to like small businesses. Like, I'm sure there's a way to finagle that.
The other thing is in the package as well. It's and now they're sort of competing plans. Is Mitt Romney proposed a tax credit where basically, if you have children under the age of 16, you would get a $300 a month for every month.
I heard about this. But I think if I recall hearing about this, it's like, yes, that sounds good, but he wants to pay for it by taking it away from like other welfare programs and other I guess, yeah, like other programs basically.
But obviously that's not gonna so Democrats responded with their own plan, because basically they giving the parents $300 every month. That part is fine. But then you can't also cut social services that they're going to need and all this other stuff. So the Democrats proposed their own version, which is similar, but then it's a bit more you know, it's funny. You know, Republicans love to use the word targeted. This is actually targeted. So it helps less people, but still, I think this initial sort of iteration of it will change, because the Romney plan, besides that, cutting the social services plan, it seems to be a bit better in the way that it like sort of allocates it. But that's one thing, because at the end of the day, you know, it will help with poverty, because people who are making, can you imagine, per kid, you know, you get $300 a month. That'll make a big difference in terms of like food you eat, where you live.
I mean, it'll definitely help people that are like food insecure too, just because, like, you know, in these hard times, like, a lot of people don't even have jobs. Like, having that extra money per kid at least keeps less kids hungry.
And also, so the difference with the Romney plan and the Romney plan and the Democrats plan is, I think that the Romney plan actually it goes up to, like, there's an income, it goes up to, like, if you make $150,000 or something like that. I think the thinking behind his is also to deal with the fact that, you know, birth rates are declining, so less people are having kids. So this is another way for you know, young couples to be like, you know what, okay, you know, we can have kids because we won't feel like we're gonna have to be overwhelmed because kids are expensive. Right?
As a person that is adamantly against kids myself, not a selling point, not a thought process I would go through, saying, well, you know what, hey, I'm gonna get $300 a month, so let me have a kid.
per kid. Yeah,
still not worth it.
Well, this is the Frenchie is gonna have a couple of other.
Oh God,
he's gonna have like 2 kids. No, 100%.
No. I already have a dog. That's enough.
Yeah, you're gonna have a child that's gonna play with a dog. Yeah,
my child is my dog.
All right, man. That'll be a different topic for another. Okay, so moving on to. So I don't know if you've heard recently, like after the big lie that the former president, who shall not be named,
Oh
um,
yes, yes, yes. I know where
spread,
this is
right,
going.
about election fraud. You know, a lot of, and his state-run propaganda network, Fox News, OAN, Newsmax.
Mm.
So, they're the ones that are going along the whole entire time saying there's voter fraud, voter fraud. But guess what happened? Joe Biden became president, and now all these people that they basically accuse of stealing votes, of corrupting, setting things up, that they were going to switch systems and stuff, all these crazy conspiracy theories that have no basis in reality, right?
Hmm.
Now they're being sued by all the people that they've accused. So you have Dominion, which is suing OAN, and then there's another voter system that is suing Fox News.
I heard about this, and apparently, yeah, there. I heard that like Fox News, like they acknowledge that they're getting sued, but they kind of framed it like, oh, these are opinions, and which is going to be like the very common thing that like Fox News would always love to do. It's just like, oh, these are opinions. The common person knows that this isn't exactly news. I'm like, oh god, but you know what? Karma has never tasted so sweet. Like it's just everything just feels like it's oh, it's just like it's poetry. It's poetry. Like they really thought that they weren't good. There was not going to be a repercussion out of this.
Yes, they did, because they thought, guess what? We're going to have a president in the White House who's going to protect us. He's going to intervene at the Justice Department, make sure that Bill Barr doesn't do anything. Or that, or maybe they were even betting on the fact that, there was, 200 conservative justices that were put on the court that eventually they'll be protected. But at the same time, maybe that's not true, because I think the fact that, he who shall not be named lost like 80 court cases, that probably just shook them to realize, oh, the justice system is actually going to work in this instance. We can't come up with bullshit with no proof. So I think they realize we're in legal jeopardy. And what we know they care about is money.
Oh my god. I mean, honestly, like this is the best thing that could honestly happen, and I really do hope that this actually goes the way it should. I really do hope that they make an example out of like all of these people, that you can't just make up lies like this. I think it was like on I want to say it was like New York Times, where I was listening in on the election system that's suing Fox News. They were talking about like its impact. Like, a lot of companies across other countries didn't want to work with them because it's just bad PR. Like, aren't people in America saying that you guys are this, you guys do that, you guys are, fraud? It is just like, they're having a huge PR nightmare out of it, and that's essentially affecting their sales. And it's like, I kind of get it. It's just like, yeah, you need to sue somebody. What is it, for slander? Like somebody has to be responsible for that. And if it has to be somebody, it has to be Fox News. Honestly, they were the ones really pushing that whole like narrative hard.
They also have the money as well. If there's someone's gonna pay up, you think OAN has a lot of money? OAN does have a lot of money.
Oh man, OAN. That you see, that's really the cherry on top. Suing OAN and Newsmax.
Speaking of Newsmax, yeah, good thing you pointed it out. So Newsmax, you had the infamous MyPillow CEO on there.
God.
So Newsmax is.
Side note. Have you ever tried his MyPillow?
I don't know what is that. Let me look at a picture of it.
Okay, well, I went into a Bed Bath & Beyond once, and I didn't know, this is before like I even knew he was like a radical like Republican or whatever, right? But like I've always seen his commercials, and then I ran into it, like his pillow was like a Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever. It really was terrible. I was like, I was like, people like want to sleep on this? Like, this is really the most comfortable pillow. It is such a crappy pillow.
Wow, I didn't remember that. You know what's funny? So I keep hearing my pillow, and I never really associated what it is with. So I just, based on the picture, looking at the picture now, I remember it's as seen on TV. And I remember I tried it. Shit, it's horrible.
It's crap. Yeah, I was like, and again, let me be perfectly clear. This is before I even knew who this guy was. This is years ago. I tried it and I was like, this is a crappy pillow. And I was like, well, that's what I didn't buy it. I just like tried it because you can kind of try it at Bed Bath and Beyond or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like I think they were saying like what, like this is the most comfortable pillow or your money back or whatever the hell like they were saying. I'm like, Jesus, they must have a lot of people getting their money back then, because this is the most uncomfortable pillow. I mean, I got myself one of those like Tempur-Pedic ones, those memory foams. Now those, ooh, they don't need a money back guarantee on that.
Well, you know what? Even those weird little pillows that have the sort of the back part is a bit higher, and then the part that's lower, close to your neck, is a bit lower too. That part, that pillow's more comfortable, and that shit is uncomfortable. So.
No, but this was just like, I don't even know what was in it. I don't know what it's made out of, but I was just like, this is a crappy pillow.
So he was on Newsmax, right?
Yes.
And they were about to show. Also, he had a documentary that they were showing on Newsmax as well about election fraud, supposed election fraud that has no basis in reality. So he was having, but that's a separate thing. But he was about to be interviewed, and he started spewing his BS. And the lady who was interviewing him, along with another gentleman. So she starts, there's no proof of that. And then the gentleman he just gets up. He's like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. And he gets up and he leaves, and it's just his chair.
Ooh, hold on. Actually, I think I just found the video. Hold on. I'm going to press play.
Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those kinds of allegations. We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen. We wanted to talk to you about canceling culture, if you will. We don't want to relitigate the allegations that you're making, Mike, because we understand where you are.
What? Like, I'm kind of glad that they at least have a stance. Newsmax is another problematic network, but at least they have a stance to say, like, you know what? We're going to say that this is like, that the election, was not fraud, was not stolen, obviously because they don't want to get sued, but they're like pushing back on all these like crazy people, which is weird because like they're pushing back on the crazy people, and literally these crazy people is what made Newsmax big.
Because they see the risk.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
this really could have like crippling consequences to like all their business. Like, God knows how much money Fox News could lose.
Well, that's why they fired Lou Dobbs.
Oh my God! Wait, so give me a roundup. Lou Dobbs. Who exactly is he?
So Lou Dobbs, in terms of all of the crazies, I think you have to put them in sort of like a tier. So I would say at the lower tier, I would put Tucker Carlson, because he knows that he's saying this BS. He knows it. 100%. He knows it. And then on top of him, I think you would have then Sean Hannity, who's dumb, and he believes what he's saying.
Yes.
He's just going along with the talking points that they give him. And then on the top tier of crazies, I would say that you have Lou Dobbs and you have Maria Bartiromo. And you know Maria Bartiromo, right?
Is she the judge?
No. Oh, no, and that's Judge Janine. The three of them. There you go.
Okay.
The unholy trinity.
Okay, no, the Maria.
Of Trumpism.
Actually, I don't know who Maria is. Hold on,
Maria Bartiromo. She used to be a host on CNBC. She used to host a show called The Closing Bell. So she was like a well-respected financial journalist, and then she sort of turned into a crazy Trump person.
Oh God.
So Lou Dobbs, obviously, he used to have a show on CNN, and he was already a little bit kooky. So he sort of chased some conspiracy theories, but it wasn't very I wouldn't say obvious. And then when Fox Business started, then he got a show on there, and for the past 4 years, he has been, I wouldn't say cheerleader. I would say, what's the best way to describe?
For lack of better words, dick gobbler.
Maybe a better. Let's find a better way of saying that. let's just say carry his
You can
water,
beep that
right?
out.
I'm gonna bleep that out, but yeah. So he is basic. He's like, no one is smarter than this president. His strategy, no one works harder. And he even said it. He told him in an interview. He said, "The people love you. You're the most beloved, successful, consequential president of our history." It's like, whoa. So he every night. Fraud. So I think it got to the point that apparently Fox News is like, no, this is already in the cards, and we regularly reassess what's going to happen. No, it's all BS. Literally,
I feel like
he's one of the he's like the worst offender. So they're like, we're going to cut our losses, so we can say that if in the lawsuit, it's like, oh, the person who was saying that, he's gone. So problem solved. Even though there was no problem.
Although they still have a long list of other people that are equally problematic, like the judge lady. I always forget her name.
Judge
I guess
Janine.
Justice Janine.
Justice with Janine.
Like, I mean,
she ran against Hillary Clinton in 2006, and she dropped out.
No, she didn't. She did. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she ran. She ran, and then she dropped out.
She's like she's the Fox News equivalent of what I would, Caso Cerrado, for my Spanish speaking folks. I forgot the judge's name, yes. But she feels like the Fox News equivalent of the Caso Cerrado lady.
No, but that lady at least has morals and.
I don't know. She's selling supplements on a Spanish television, so I don't know how much morals you have.
Yeah, I don't even really think that the way she speaks with such authority, but she acts like she's a Supreme Court justice, but it's like
she's like doesn't really she's just like radical in all shapes and forms, and just like so like no empathy, no
do you
broader thought process of like what is outside of my own bubble.
She went on The View. She was promoting her book called let me just find the title. It's crazy. It's okay. Janine. Oh, and she also got her husband a pardon.
Yeah,
from Trump.
I remember. Yeah. Which I'm saying that's bad press, because I mean, I feel like a good lawyer can really just kind of swing that. That could be a home run.
So she was on The View, and I just love talking because she went on The View, and she was promoting her book called Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, the case against the anti-Trump conspiracies. She was on The View when she was saying to Whoopi Goldberg, you have Trump derangement syndrome. And Whoopi Goldberg was like, what? You don't tell me I'm deranged. And it was like, this lady is calling you all crazy and saying that and they're like, what, interview's over. That's it. Bye.
Oh my God. Hot mess. These people are all hot messes. And honestly, you know what? I think it's about that time that Fox News gets sued, again. I mean, why not, right? It seems like it's every year that they're getting sued.
It's never gonna end, but they have increasingly difficult competition from the further right outlets like OAN and Newsmax. I
mean, they're free, like, right? Because can't you get like OAN and Newsmax like on Pluto TV? I think. Well, I know Newsmax definitely. I think I ran into that.
They still show ads, I think. Anyway, I think that's it for this session.
Yeah. Oh God, that's enough crazy for the week. At least until next week. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. All right, and then that's it for now, and we'll see you guys next time.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.